What up, SNA Assassinators? I'm back here, Super Ninja Austin, and a couple minutes later. And I'm going to be talking about Monday Night Football right now, which featured the Chicago Bears against the Minnesota Vikings. You know, they're the NFC North, arch rivals in the division next to Green Bay and Detroit. And yeah, this was a NFC North showdown between the two teams in at the what's that called, the US Banks stadium. And yeah, and we all know who won. Obviously, what just if it's not already obvious enough, if you don't know what colors I'm wearing, like which is the winning team. But I'm gonna get into what just happened. But it was very interesting to watch. Like I guess it's because given that it was the team that I personally wanted to win, but yeah, it was a really good game. Like probably not the greatest game like of the week and even of the season, but still was on the top like 10 or 15 list of good games so far when it comes to the prime time side of things. But let's get things started with I'll say, like with the Chicago Bears getting the ball, they decide to knee it. Like once they got kicked right to the end zone, like when they won the coin toss of some reason. This is where we got Caleb Williams passing it to Swift, the running back. This is where he only got like a gain of 3, if I'm mistaken. This is where then. I know it was a gain of 4 actually, 2nd and 6. This is where we got Caleb Williams passing it to Allen, the that's where then he gets stopped by Shaq Griffin, the corner. That's where he got a gain of 4, making it 3rd and 2. That's where then we got the Chicago Bears and try to go for a first down right here. That's where we got Williams go for a run. That's where then unfortunately he couldn't get a first down. He just got until a short of a yard when he tried to run for it. But his huge mistake was that he went right in the middle rather than going a little bit to the left side, something like Mahomes would have done if he was going to go for a run. But it's where we got Chicago and try to go for it. Yeah, go for it at 4th down, even though they were barely at the 40. That's where they end up passing it to the Swift, but it's where I believe I think he didn't get it. Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, that's what they did not get the first down, which that's where the Vikings started at that exact same 40. That's where we got Sam Darnold and the rest of the offense, even including my boy Justin Jefferson, came out there because it's time for the offense to shine. And they were similar to like how Green Bay were yesterday against the what's the names, the Seattle Seahawks, like which they were wearing all their neon green gear on, and then Green Bay was wearing all white. Even their helmet was white. That was similar to Minnesota tonight. And fun coincidence, I was wearing fed back door to what's it? Travadison, but it's where but it was a 5-yard run that he passed it to what's his name to what's his name to the Aaron Jones. This is where we got Sam Darnold. It was like, okay, 187, 196. Hike, this is where he tried to go for a throw, but he ends up throwing it away. But this is where this is where he nearly got sacked, but this is where it was an incomplete pass, making it 4th and 5. This is where he had no choice but to kick a field goal, which was successful, by the way. It was 3-0. This is where the referees made it clear that it was exactly good. This is where this is where they kicked it right back to Chicago, but nothing that good happened to them yet. This is where, if anything, it was probably worse than when they got an unsuccessful 4th down play, like which even I was like, how they cannot get past just the yard, but this is where we got. Yeah, I was like, well, at least maybe they could manage to make some up for their huge blunder here. But yeah, unfortunately, not quite at this time. But it's where that's where he passed it to the running back Swift for about 9 yards. That's where he passed it to who was he. No, it wasn't Swift. It was DJ Moore, the second string running back. And he only got a gain of 9, but he made up to get more yards. Like he got a first down. He got the 2 yards and more, 1 yard and more. No pun intended to his last name, but this is where then we got Here's where we got, Caleb Williams did was like, all right, 227, 226, 225. Like, no, hiking this way, fake pass to 2 more. This way, ended up throwing it to him. No, it was DeAndre Swift. They switched him out. Like, it's where he fake passed there, but once he was under pressure, he had to end up throwing it to him. Anyways, he caught the ball. Then he got the first down. He got the exactly 10 yards, what they needed. Great job from the running back. This is where we got Caleb Williams. Like, okay, if we can keep this up, like, make that make him to not expect the expected, like, and yeah, we go all good. Is where they passed it to the running back to Swift, the DeAndre Swift, I believe that's what his name is. Where he only got a gain of 2. That's where then they the group huddle. This is where then we got this where do the doomsday the doom. Yeah, what I'm talking about. It was the receiver number 15. I'm trying to remember his name in particular. He passed it to him. That's where it was to a doomsday. Yeah, a doomsday. They got a first down and maybe more, like a gain of like 14 to 15. This is where we got. They were right at the 30. Right at this point, this is where we got the running back Swift that was in motion, but that's where he nearly got sacked. This is where he ends up throwing it to the right side by Harrison Smith, like with only just a gain of 1. This was like 3rd and 9. Yeah, this is where he lined it. His receivers up, this where he tried to go overthrow. This is where we got the Minnesota Vikings. Then knocked out Caleb Williams, caught the fumble, and Cashman, the linebacker, run it, nearly got a defensive touchdown, but he ended up getting tackled by the lineman. That's where the Minnesota defense was on fire. Like after this, that's where we got the ball for the Vikings. Is where they end up scoring into this drive after this complete squash, like into the Chicago Bears squash. Even though I gotta admit, for the Chicago Bears at this drive, they got like a few first downs, unlike the last time. They couldn't even get in by 1 yard. Like this where we got what's his name? Like Josh, I'm about to say Josh Allen, but it's Sam Darnold. Went for a pass to Aaron Jones. He just went directly in the middle. Like after running 9 yards, which he went with, but you got like a gain of what many yards was it? Like this is where like he starts shining, like if he's still in Green Bay, like with his run. This is where he ran got the first down. This is where it was. But he got the 16. He gets passed through it again, but this is where he barely got a gain of a yard. He looked like he was about to get like a loss of a yard or 2 if he didn't juke one of the defensive linemen. This is where it was 2nd and 9. This is where then we got what happened next? This is where they end up getting the first down, like at the marker, like with. Right at the 6-yard line, if I'm mistaken. What was it? It was who was it that the wide receiver number 3 that caught the ball? It was what was it? It was Addison, that's what his name is. Addison that got the catch. He went for first and goal. That's where he tried. That's where he threw it to Justin Jefferson on the next play on first and goal at the 6-yard line, right to the right side. He caught it right over like a couple of guys. Where then he started doing like a parody of the leg kick in this usual dance. He do like this, like like this. Like, yeah, do a little celebration dance, which I thought, I know that's right. Like, yeah, like this. Oh yeah, this guy is the GOAT of the Minnesota Vikings. Like, and this is where And this where then he said, hey, but send a message to Randy Moss by saying that they love him and wish him a speedy recovery from and wish him a remission in his cancer because he was diagnosed with it like not so long ago. And for me, Super Ninja Austin on the SNA podcast, I want to wish my wishes to the legendary wide receiver as well, and I hope he does overcome this this very crucial health issue. Yeah. This where then me and my brother noticed that like a similarity with Jefferson and Moss because Randy Moss was number 81 in his time both in New England and in Minnesota, like back when Tom Brady was a quarterback in the New England, then eventually moved to Minnesota, the team with Brett Favre. He was number 81 in those times as the wide receiver in those two teams. And then but Justin Jefferson, he's kind of like similar to that because instead of being 81, he's 18. He's number 18. Yeah. But yeah, they scored a touchdown, making the more of a lead, maintaining their lead just by 10 points. Though that's where it was 10-0. Just where they ended up kicking it right back to Chicago. Yeah, this was still like a scoreless moment, I guess you could say. Say at the very least. This is where they did a pretty good job passing it to DJ Moore, but this is where he only got like a gain of 6, making it 2nd and 4. And that's where then we got what's his name? Caleb Williams then snapped yet again. 197. Hiking is where then he passed it to the Swift this time. Or no, it was Humor. Yeah, Humor that got the first down of a gain of 4. This is where they put back out Moore, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is where them Caleb was like, okay, 237, 236, 238. All right, 235. Like hut. Like this is where then this is where they snapped the ball. This is where we got one of the receivers then when in motion. He tried to throw it past the Swift, I meant to say. This is where he only got like a gain of 1 yard. Make it 2nd and 9 at the 41, if I'm mistaken, at their 41, of course, in Chicago, because they were just like about a dozen yards away from passing enemy territory. This is where he passed it to Swift, but this is where he only got a gain of a couple. With the Minnesota defense, were not giving no more yardage. Like with them getting 3rd and 7, that's where we got Caleb Williams trying to go for a throw. That's where it was an incomplete pass. That's where it was what's his name? Steve what's his name? Something Smith. What's his name is? Smith, the corner, number 22, that came in and blocked the ball. That's where we got number 1 the other corner, was so close of catching the ball and intercepting it. It was who was it that almost picked it off? It was Chad Griffin, yeah, that's who it was. That nearly got the what they call the interception, which he was guarding the intended receiver of Caleb Williams. Here's where it was a 4th and 7 deal. Is where he's still scoreless in the first quarter. They had to kick it right back to Minnesota. It's where then the Minnesota's offense got into the field when the special teams recovered the ball from Minnesota. But let's see, venture, what happened next. When that was, we got the Minnesota Vikings that yet scored, they scored yet again. Well, let's just say, it's not like another touchdown, but we're gonna get into that in just a moment. This is where we saw. This is where they got the ball. Sam Darnold started at, I believe, was at the 9-yard line. That's where it's 180, 181, 182. I said hiking is where he passed it to Aaron Jones. No, it was Cam Akers. That was Akers. I mean, Cam Akers is where he got a gain of 10 with the first down. Is where we got Sam Darnold then snapped the ball with all the receivers running forward. That's where he tried to do it to Justin Jefferson, but he overthrew it right into the left, nearly at the 30 yard. not looking so lucky right now. This where. But it was, I believe, it was a neutral zone infraction penalty on the Chicago Bears, like when they try to go for 3rd and 12. Oh no, it was a false start. No, it was. Then we got Caleb Williams. Then try to go for a spiral right onto the Aaron Jones. Amazingly, got a first down. And he reached right onto the line of scrimmage. Like as soon as he fell out of bounds, it's like he put his hands right onto. That's where he nearly fumbled the ball, but luckily, like he didn't let go until he was out of bounds already. But making it a first down is where it was 5 seconds, but they decided to end the quarter right here and there, like in this. And this is where they went to commercial break, which is the most powerful force in all of sports entertainment. But at the end of the first quarter, it was 10-0, like overall, and with scoring wise, which they scored 10 points, a field goal, and a touchdown. And this is where then, once the commercial break was over, they went back in the field and finished what they started doing. This is where we got. This is where Jefferson caught the ball about another first down for the Vikings. This is where. This was a flag on the play. This is where I think it was an illegal formation penalty on the Vikings, though. This is where the fans started booing because they knew what was up. This is where the whole fans in the U.S. Bank Stadium was booing the crap out of this play. This was it was on number 74 onto the offense. This is where it was a. It was a 5-yard penalty, like pushing them back right into where they was. They stepped back like 5 more yards, making it 1st and 15. This is where we got what's his name? Sam Darnold was like 180, 172, and he's hiking his way past the 2 acres. And that's where Akers probably got like about 5 yards, like exactly what they just got pushed back at. But this is where we got. Donald to go for a throw. This is where he ends up trying to throw to Jefferson, but he missed him. It was just going right through his hand. But this is where they had to go kicking it right back to Chicago. This is where Chicago's like, all right, now we got, what am I? Now I got right, yeah. He tried to throw it to Jefferson, but I know there was 3rd and 10. This is where he tried to throw it to Powell. This is where he ends up getting the first down. This is where then we got the next play happened. This is where we got Sam Darnold like, okay, 180. I said hi. This is where then we got this is where we got who was it? That was number 3. I'm trying to remember his last name, but this is where he went in motion. This is where he tried to do Aaron Jones, but they didn't really went nowhere. This was a loss of 1. This is where they're right back at the 47-ish yard line. Yeah, that's where we got. That's where he got like 1 receiver on his left and then the running back in his right. 175, 187 hike. This is where then he threw it right on to Addison. That's what number 3 is. Addison, he threw it to him on the left side. He got a gain of 16 yards on the play. This is where then they were at the 29-yard line. This is where we got Sam Darnold threw it to Justin Jefferson, but he ends up dropping the ball with him being very embarrassed. Like, who could blame the guy? Because if he didn't drop the ball, that would have easily been a second consecutive touchdown from him. And that's where then. But that's why they didn't try to go for it again because it's only 2nd and 10. But it's where they tried to go to Aaron Jones. But yet again, like he's been lacking onto this round. Is where he got pushed right back, no yards. This is where it was. But and what happened was they lost the yards. Is where we got Sam Darnold tried to do to Addison, but Addison only got him like about roughly. I'll say roughly like 8 yards on the play, but they end up going for a 4th down, even though it's 4th and 3. That's where they're like, okay, like I have a plan, which is a trick play. I'm doing a clap. It's where like half of the defendermen that was playing on this play on Chicago just start doing a little clap, like if they're the New Day, which I don't know what was the reason why. Like I think they either forgot they or been living under a rock in wrestling for the last few weeks because the New Day are no more, at least when it comes to Kofi and Xavier Woods' friendship with Big E. But But let's move on. That's where they start right at the 16-yard line in their own side. This is where we got Caleb Williams and snap the ball. While what was it? It was number 15 receiver. Then they went for the motion. Is where he passed it to. This is where he tried to throw it to what's his name, Swift, which got a gain of 1. This is where we got. This is where he passed it to Allen. This is where he got like a gain of like about 4 or 5, which was 5 yards actually. This is where it was 3rd and 4, like after 2nd and 9. This is where like then they went for a very convincing play, like with him. I haven't plenty of time because most of it, like they was getting blocks, but he ends up trying to run for it, but he ends up getting stopped like with a yard short of a first down at like 4th and 1, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. But yeah, anyways, we got that's where they end up stopping at 4th down. Is where they got a late hit penalty after one of the defensive men like knocking Tory Taylor, the punter of the Bears, down, which they got a 5-yard penalty, like which was an automatic first down, with them getting the ball back. Now that's where we got the Chicago Bears and snap the ball, like with them passing it to Swift, which he got like a gain of I'll say 5 on the play, making it like 2nd and 5, if I'm mistaken. This is where he got the extra 5 with Swift, which he got the first down. This is where we got him then. This is where we got Swift and got another few yards, making it like I'll say like 2nd and 3 over at I'll say the 50 at the 58-yard line, like in their side. That's where then he fake passed it to Swift. That's where then he passed it. The commit, the tight end is where he ran for the few yards and more. Is where it was first down. Is where it was first down at I'll say the 40 for the 38-yard line, if I'm mistaken. Is where here's where we got Caleb Williams going for a snap. Here's where he tried to go for a throw, but he ends up throwing it to Moore. This is where DJ Moore to be exact. This is where we got a gain of 4. Times, but unfortunately it was not true. It was 2 yards. This is where he passed it to the Swift again. Is where he got like a carry of a yard, if I'm mistaken, making it 3rd and I'll say 5. Yeah, like you got a gain of a yard. Is where we got Caleb Williams snapping and ball games where he got sacked, but this is where nearly ran it, but this is where Caleb Williams roughly got a first down, but there was a flag on the play, like before he could even run, like past the line of scrimmage. This is where the referee explains what exactly was the penalty on that. Okay, well, it was a offensive holding penalty. Yeah. Okay. Chill out. But anyway, excuse me for a moment. Be careful. Our assassinators, I'm back. But what else happened next? It was it was the holding penalty on the Chicago Bears. That's where it got pushed back like 10 yards, like in this penalty. It was a replay, like was it 2nd or 3rd down? I'm trying to remember. This is where it was 3rd and 15. Like, yeah, because yeah, it was like 3rd and 5. So yeah, they got 15. Yeah, this is where they only got like 14 yards though, and it was not enough. It was a yard short. This is where the Bears and then decided to go for it. This is where everybody, there was a swarm of Minnesota fans that are dressed up as Vikings and having the Vikings jersey. That's where they tried to depend on Swift, the running back, but I believe he was a yard short yet again. That's where it gets pushed right out. That's where it was. This is where we got to stop yet again. This is where we start hearing the $million Baby song by Tommy Richmond. It seemed like every football team loves the song. Maybe even that guy that looked exactly like Tommy Richmond from Sanford, probably likes this song too. Like one of the reasons because they look exactly alike. But yeah, it was playing it, which is a very catchy song. I even played through time and time on my YouTube music. But yeah, they thought I ain't never been the same thing, baby. And yeah, I always make fun of Tropicana, former women's champion Bailey, like from WWE, with that song because I have a theory about her and George Kettle Chips, which that's in a different video for a different day. But this is where we move on. This is where we got the Vikings starts right there. This is where the Vikings then depend on the running back. Was it like it was a yeah, like I know this is where we got it was Akers, I believe, got like a few yards, and yeah, it was about like 3 yards, making it 2nd and 7. But this is where he got there was a false start penalty by one of the linemen. It was 2nd and 12. This is where then we got this is where we got let's see. This is where they start getting things ready for not only for Christmas, like on commercials, but also the New Year's as well. But well, yeah, after they got done with the advert, this is where we got they're showing like all the quarterback ranking like of and all the teams that are all under contracts with the Minnesota Vikings. This is where we got and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they say Daniel Jones of all the quarterbacks is now officially a Minnesota Viking, which I was like, what the hell? Like, yeah, like this is not happening right now. Like, I was completely shocked. I'm like, what happened to him being in the New York Giants for the rest of the season? Like, maybe they made an agreement with the Vikings to trade him over to the other teams where this is where we got who was it? Number 3 that caught the ball. It was what's his? I keep forgetting his last name. Addison. Yeah. This is where Addison got the ball. This is where then we got. Well, this is where we got next play, but it ends up being a sack by Chris Williams, the defensive end, or tackle, which was a loss of like who was it? Like it was like a loss of about how many yards was it? It was like a loss of 8, if I'm mistaken, is where they called a timeout. Like because the time was running like in the 40-second mark. Is where we got. That's where we got Sam Darnold nearly got sacked again, but this is where he luckily threw it right on to what's his name to Aaron Jones, which he got like a gain of I'll say about 4. This is where it was 3rd and 14. This is where then we got. This is where they go for a snap. This is where one of the receivers was in motion. It was Addison, I believe. This is where we got Donald did try go for a throw right onto the tight end. What was it? It was everybody was distracted by Jefferson. It was by tight end number 87, common number. That's where then I wonder who it was, but it was the Byers, the safety, was too late to tackle him, but he managed to get him. That's where it was. Where we got Sam Darnold. Now use their final timeout because they have 26 seconds left, and they try to get at least somewhere close to the end zone, if not already in there. Just where we got Sam Darnold was in another huddle with his fellow offensive men. Is where every guy receiver on the left side was in motion. Is where then we got him trying to go for a throw, but he ends up nearly getting sacked. But it's where he threw it away right onto to Aaron Jones, but it's where it was an incomplete pass with a nearly sack. It's where it was a two. It was it was 2nd and 10. Where it's where tried to get in like to the right side and try to gain some yards and stop the clock. It was who was it again? The tight end number 87. It was Hawkinson. That's what his name is. It was Hawkinson. Is where then we got let's see, right? It was that, and then there was 3rd and what was it like? It was 3rd and 10 is where we got once the next play starts. It's where we got a flag on the play. It's where it's also stopped the clock, which was at the 12-second mark. It's where the offside penalty on the defensive Chicago Bears but it was a 5-yard penalty, like which they gained an extra 5 yards, making it 3rd and 5. Is where they tried to now Hawkinson, but it's where we overthrew it over the end zone. This is where then they had to bring out their field goal unit out there to kick a field goal before the break it came to them like. And this is where it was like about 4 seconds left when they kicked the extra 3 points, making it 13-0. They kicked it right into Chicago.